Chinese food is going globally popular. Thanks to the 144-hour visa-free policy, foreign tourists have flooded into China. Many of them share the Chinese dishes they had in restaurants and proudly declare themselves expert of Chinese food. But the question is, Beijing duck, hot pot, Westlake fish and vinegar gravy, do they really represent the full picture of Chinese taste? Our destination this time is only for foreign gastronomes who really want to dive into the hustle and bustle of Chinese cities. It's not one of those fancy restaurants and shopping malls, but somewhere hidden in streets and alleys. A crazy enigma to newcomers, only unveiled in the very night.
Welcome to today's Taste Guide to China. More accurately, tonight's. Right now I'm at the entrance of Pingxi Night Fair, the largest local food district of Nanning, China. And it is nearly midnight right now, but we can still see many people coming in and out here. And the main road through the night fair is also bustling and crowded, lined with almost hundreds and thousands of stalls selling local snacks and local specialties. I can bet that you can't find such an image in cities like Beijing, Shanghai and Guangzhou. And now we're going in.
The road seemed endless. We just slowly followed the crowd, stopping for the dazzling array of snacks.
这个是什么？
There were countless tourists. As a local resident, I'd never seen so many people here in no times. In fact, as Chinese people rode out a storm of COVID-19, it becomes even busier than before. More stalls, more tourists. I used to think that the Nanning's night fair would surely become a history under lockdown, but it has been revived. I would say by joint effort of Chinese government's call for bringing hustle and bustle back and local residents' deep belief in night fair culture.
To tell the truth, actually, before I came here, I actually had a dinner, but somehow I'm now, you see, hungry again. And if Gordon Ramsay ever come here, he'd absolutely go panic. There's no kitchen, no sink, completely open, and customers just stand aside watching them cooking. But the interesting thing is that actually all store here has a sanitary license.
Almost all the stalls in the night fair are transparent, in line with a local belief that if foods are cooked in front of customers, there will be no hygiene problems. Also, watching the food being made makes it more appetizing. I think that's why my dear camera girl and I just kept eating and drinking all the way. It was still crowded half an hour after we entered here. Stall owners were all busy and we could hardly find one having time for an interview. But we managed to find two of them. In fact, I played a small trick. I bought their stall first, then surely they'll do me this little favor.
现在是不是每天人都很多呀？
对呀，每个人。
我有一个问题，其实很想问一下，就是，每天比如说夜市来的是本地的人多，还是外地的游客会多一点？
放假这段时间是外地人来的啊，平时是本地人来的啊。
阿姨，你觉得最近夜市的人多吗？
最近暑假嘛，假期嘛，人还是挺多的啊。
你觉得是本地人来的多，还是外地人来的多呢？
外地的一般是带家人的一起过来，那个暑假嘛，一起过来旅游啊。本地人也都有的。
After such a while of walking and buying, we decided to find a place to sit down. Passingly, we interviewed some tourists. I wanted to know if they were, as stall owners said, mostly outsiders, and also let them give you, my dear foreign viewers, suggestions. It's always worth listening to have been here already. Well, it was easier for us to talk to tourists than busy stall owners, although they might not actually be that interested in being interviewed. Here, people are only interested in what they can eat.
我不是南宁本地人。
我们不是本地人，
是外面过来旅游的吗？
对，我们是来南宁这里旅游。
是本地人吗？南宁本地人。
蛮好啊，
非常丰富，很惊讶，这夜市这么长，我们在台湾的夜市都没这么长。
市里有非常多的好吃，我感觉这一排下来种类非常多，就是推荐。我就喜欢吃这个，我特别喜欢吃、
蚵仔煎
啊，对，我觉得这个特别好吃，特别推荐，强烈推荐。
有酸椰，啊，对呀对呀，特色那些特色了哈。
我的建议就是呢，我们吃饭的时候先不要吃饱啊，我们留一点肚子，对吧？然后边逛边吃，遇到一些好吃的我们就买一点，然后把夜市都走一遍，然后把好吃的都品尝一遍。
Successfully, we found a spare table outside a large food store, and surprisingly, my camera girl, a true frequenter of the fair, told me that she already ordered for me 3 how difficulty local snacks.
I have to warn you, some of this is not going to be very vegan friendly. Let's take a look at this thing. The local people call it egg with head, literally. And this is actually a chicken embryo mixed with a special sauce. It actually tastes okay. It's got that cartilage in it, so it really nice to chew. And the key, I think, is actually the sauce, which is supposed to be lemon, mint, herbs, garlic, and chili. And it's kind of a Southeast Asian flavor. And then this, well, it is really shocking. It's roast pig eye. Yes, you heard me right, pig eye. It looks very frightful, and I feel a bit like Dr. Hannibal Lecter holding a punch of this. But the thing's going funny for I realized it smells really good, so I'm going to have one. This is delicious too. How can I describe it? It tastes like jelly of barbecue flavor. I mean, you know, some kind of meat, but it feels like jelly. Okay, let's see what we have finally. Well, to be honest, this thing looks a lot more normal than the other two. This is roast beef stuffed with pickled peppers. It looks like a normal barbecue. I think it's not bad. Mm, 挺香的。It's too spicy. I didn't feel it at first, but then suddenly it flooded over my tongue. I think that may be because it's a special variety of peppers. Frankly, this is the spiciest thing I've ever had. Actually, quite tasty, to be honest, as long as you forget about the spiciness. And, well, my dear foreign viewers, if you are here, beware of those harmless looking food, just like that.
The darkness is getting darker, and the noise gradually fades. There are still many people drinking and chatting around the tables. Smoke still plumes over the air. I think of Osborne Hardison's view in Disappearing Through the Skylight. In the process of modernization, the images of cities would gradually converge. But now I find the strongest counter-argument here. Nanning, a former barbarian land that has been transformed into a metropolis in China's modernization drive, still retains its distinctive night fair culture. The southwestern wildness from ancient times still burst forth in here, which was hit by the pandemic but now reignites. It is a living local chronicle, where we connect with the chefs and foodies who hid in the small stalls of the past. And they, using those amazing foods that have survived to this day, tell us, literally, do not go gentle into that good night.